I am. Let's go. And we are live. Now let me get the link.
All right, where is this?
All right, this link. All right, put it there. Now I'm gonna put it here.
We are now.
All right. Anybody here? No? Oh.
That's okay. We're a little bit late ourselves.
I'm sure people will show up.
If not, we can just casually talk as they start filling in.
Mm-hmm.
Then they come in at an awkward moment when we're talking about something crazy. But what the hell is going on? Nah. But can't wait for Vinland tomorrow.
I was telling Vontae this, Sherm, but honestly, Vinland is the show, I think, on the channel since it started. It's the one I'm most excited about to watch on a weekly basis.
Oh, sure. It is absolutely one of the more intriguing ongoing anime. I need to see that next episode.
Are you still anime only, or have you started the manga?
Yeah, I'm still doing the anime only thing.
Okay.
Haven't decided to pop the manga open just yet. Just because Mappa really has been killing it with the sound design. And the voice acting has been amazing. Once the end of the season happens, I'll probably just catch up. But we'll see.
I also need to get back into Oshinoko.
Yeah, I do like Oshinoko, but that's not one that I have to watch the day it comes out. I'm fine watching that just whenever I find a spare moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got Ronnie here.
Yo, Ronnie, what's up?
How's it going? Yeah, probably could have picked a better day than Mother's Day to stream this, but everyone's got different plans, which is fine.
It'd be like that. But all right. Number one, Chainsaw Man. Then we're gonna be doing Bleach within the next month or so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
When does it come back again? Exactly.
Ooh,
first week of July.
that would be hype. That's going to be a big week if that happens.
Oh yeah.
JJK's coming
Appreciate
back.
it, Ronnie. Yep.
JJK going to be huge. That new director that they got, like already from the teaser, just looks a lot different, but not in a bad way, like in a great way.
I mean, they're sort of pulling the classic Mappa to where they're changing up the art style for like the Gojo past arc. So like, if you do a time skip either forward or back, I guess it's fine. Like,
yeah,
if it looks a little bit different. If you do a time skip
either
forward. Shut up.
But yeah, I mean, I just wonder how far they're really going to go with season 2 of JJK. Like, there are a couple of different places they could stop it.
Do you think they'll fully adapt Shibuya?
I don't think they're going to fully adapt it. Not because I think Shibuya is going to take 2 cores alone. Honestly.
But isn't the Gojo past arc, isn't it pretty short? Like, it should only be like, what, 6 episodes or so?
So, right, but between it and Shibuya is like set up for Shibuya. So I just, so I wonder if we're just going to get on the setup and a little into it and then end, because they could do, if I am remembering right, I haven't read Shibuya in a while, but they could do something really, really cheeky with the next season, and I kind of hope that they do, because it would be hilarious to watch the reaction.
I think I kind of know what you're referring to, maybe. But I think they did say they was going to adapt all of it, and then also remember when they said something about adding scenes to it. I'm like, yo, y'all don't need to add nothing to it.
Well, when they say they're adapting all of it, did they specify if it would be this season or part of next season?
I think they did say this season, but like,
then
I've seen people put like what they thought or what they think for each episode is going to, the content in it.
Mm-hmm.
But certain things probably will be sped up a bit. I'm just trying to think
of
where.
I mean, honestly, some of those chapters are pure fights, and those only take like a couple of minutes. Like in the anime. So just because some of those fights go fast.
Yeah. Yep. It's gonna be a fire summer, though.
I'm glad I get to watch the anime of Shibuya. That was the original plan, and then I was just like, oh, better not. Oh, better do it. That's stupid end game spoiler for like 2:15. I'm so upset I got that spoiler.
Man, but you know what?
I don't know the context of it. I've been pretty much blind on Shibuya. So
good. And you've been dodging spoilers out the butt for One Piece, so we will take our victories there. Like,
for 7 months. How did I not get spoiled on either of those for 7 months?
I
That's
think
wild.
I think it's because a lot of people weren't upset at it. Like, are we allowed to go into details about it, or potentially?
I don't necessarily mind. I mean, again, we're just kind of spitballing here for a couple of minutes.
So essentially, with him being confirmed alive, that can only mean good things for Robin, which almost everyone unanimously wants.
Okay.
So there wasn't a lot of people upset about it just due to that perspective,
Oh yeah.
Dude, her tearing up got me to tear up. I was like, you pure woman. Protect at all costs.
All right. I mean, even if we don't have many people here now, they can always watch the stream afterwards and stuff. So, Chainsaw Man, I don't know what you guys want to start talking about.
We could start anywhere. I don't really have any preference. I guess I'll start it off with this. So the thought that I was talking to you guys about is potentially, because I know there's some stuff that I was spoiled on with Pachita, but potentially Pachita could be Denji's mom reincarnated.
Huh. Can't say I have heard that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go into detail. Let's hear this.
Okay, so episode 1, because I did go ahead and binge most of season 1 yesterday and this morning. They were talking about how Denji's mom, she died of heart disease. And then right as they were talking about that, that's after Denji threw up blood. So then it flashes back to when he was a kid and his dad died, and he was at his dad's grave, and that's where he met Pachita.
Right.
So Pachita ended up becoming Denji's heart. And I know we can't really take this next point too much into consideration, given the way that animation, the industry just is. But Pachita, despite being called a male by Denji multiple times, has a female voice actor.
True.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
And then it would make so much more sense in terms of Denji not having any friends, Pachita wanting to see him achieve his dreams, no matter what your dreams are. Like your parents, they want you to achieve your dreams. And
right. Yeah, they want
everyone's trying to take his mom away from him.
Yeah, that. I mean, I definitely like the parallels and the emotion that would bring to it.
I actually like that. Heart things. Met her or Pochita at the grave. I'm just trying to think of how. I know obviously this is just your theory, but like when it comes to the creation of devils too, which is something that we also talked about a lot. Like we know the fear factor, no pun intended, the fear when it comes to how strong a devil can get or how strong they just are in general. But in terms of the origins, that's something else is also very, very, for any series, origins to any kind of power system, some kind of supernatural element or anything. That's something else that I've been thinking about, but I can't really think of exactly what other than like they're created via like, I don't know, like, because we also talked about too, about it seems to be that they've been around for many, many years. So I wonder if this has any kind of like biblical ties to like, Christianity or something like that. Right. Well, I don't know what the author is trying to do, but
it's interesting that you bring that up because there's kind of a juxtaposition in terms of it's being implied that devils have been around for centuries, but given what we know that this world, what year it takes place in, is it like 1980s, Sherm, or 1970s?
I'm going to look it up just to verify. I think it's like 1997, but an alternate history where USSR is.
Because I don't know what year specifically that chainsaws were invented, but it wouldn't make sense for a chainsaw devil to exist before chainsaws existed. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure chainsaws have existed a while, but
have they?
I think so.
I would think so. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, that was literally 1990s.
Okay, so
that was
so the prototype,
right? Yeah.
The prototype for the first chainsaw was done in the 18th century by two Scottish doctors. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me search this up. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I could have sworn the first one was 1974.
What's wild about the prototype chainsaw though is that was used in like for C-sections and stuff for the birthing process to cut through the pelvis.
Excuse me?
Yeah. And it was a hand cranked chainsaw. Like it.
Oh.
Does that really count as like a chainsaw though? If like,
I mean, it's the prototype.
I guess.
Then And then in 1830, there was another one. Like, so people took that and improved it, but that was the start. So the ideas of chainsaws started way back when, and so if that fear like is taken into consideration for their power as well, like like your reaction when I told you, you were like, "What?" So like that's
So
could all
another
fit.
thing I did want to kind of add on to my earlier theory about Pachita being Denji's mom reincarnated is I'm pretty sure that the Yakuza boss told Denji about his late father's debt that they owed him and said, if you don't get this by tomorrow, I'm going to come back and chop you up. So
Right.
Pachita was also injured, but in terms of the genesis of devils, like how are they created? I'm also curious is if there can be multiple devils of the same type on different continents. So, for example, is there a bat devil in North America and in Africa? Is there a leech devil in Antarctica and South America? Or is there just one devil on the planet at all times for each sphere?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Because I even thought about like the gun devil, for example,
very good
since
question.
it's like, you know, different variety of guns or anything like that. I think any kind of weapon type of devil, I think that can definitely be the case for sure. Or even like, well, yeah, any weapons, and even like with the katana man or swordman, like something similar to that as well. But that is an interesting thought.
Well, the katana devil makes sense because that was originated in Japan. So I would expect that to be one of the Japan specific devils. But for like more medieval stuff, like I don't know, it just seems kind of like the fire devil, for example. Is it like a devil that can go to any place on the planet, or does it stick in one location? What happens when a devil dies? Do they get like placed in another respawn point?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these questions are going to be answered in the future. I'm not going to promise season 2, but a lot of this will be discussed. But it's great hearing them guys talk about it for sure.
Right. Yeah, and also this is something that we also talked about a lot, like the different kinds of devils. We talked about like an anxiety type of devil, a lost devil, um what else did
That
we
would be
talk about?
wild.
Like
The
illnesses.
height devil that we talked about.
Height
Oh
devil,
yeah,
the water
that's
devil.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah. What is that fear for things at the bottom of the ocean or whatever? Because that's a huge one.
Oceanophobia? No, I don't know what it's called, but nah, that I don't know.
Bad touch
That's
devil.
crazy.
There we go. Thalassophobia is what it is.
Oh damn.
The man of wisdom. That's our Sherm.
Bites of knowledge, you know. Put in my thing.
That's because so far what we got introduced to is like it's been a mix of like things that we could have probably predicted and also some things that, or at least the first one that I felt was really different, or maybe the first two that we got introduced to that are really different was the Infinity one or Eternal and the Future one. Those two got us both to think like, oh damn, like it might be like
it doesn't have to be a
even
physical
more
object
intangible.
or
Right.
Yeah, and then a lot of those concepts just tie into other things so much. Like, if you fear things changing, that can tie into the Eternity Devil, where things would stay the same forever. The Future Devil can tie into like anxiety, fear of the future. So,
yep.
Yeah.
What would you say, Vontae, is probably your favorite devil from season 1?
Favorite devil. The Leech Devil. I'm just playing. Hell no.
Oh God, you horny bastard!
You're wrong for that one.
I don't know. I'll probably say, and it's for different reasons. Like, I really liked how Himino's Ghost Devil looked. Like, it was really creepy, and I feel like it really fit that kind.
The flower aesthetic with it.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think so far it's probably my favorite looking one because I just thought that like I would never draw some shit like that. Like that's like for a Ghost Devil, right? But other than that, the future one has me very intrigued. I don't know. I might have to go with the Ghost Devil. What about you, or both of you?
That was my first thought. It was like the Ghost Devil, and the design is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I like the Ghost Devil so much in terms of what it could potentially mean. And this might just be me coping because Jimeno was my favorite character from season 1. But honestly, like with the Ghost Devil and then Jimeno just disappearing, how many other people had contracts with the Ghost Devil? Can they come back? It almost seemed like they did a plane shift from this plane to a different plane of existence. So the Ghost Devil, I'm really interested in how that works specifically, but design-wise, I'd probably say the Fox Devil because with her affinity to good-looking men, or has the Fox Devil's gender been confirmed? I want to ask that first.
I think that it was because I believe that it was stated that she gives
handsome men preference.
Right. So I think that since she gives better contracts to handsomer men, I think that the Fox is a female, which ties into like the whole nine tails, a mythology, folklore, yokai in Japan.
Which is also crazy because when you think about it, she is able to contract out different portions of her body to different devil hunters. Like, that's just wild to me that you can like contract out your head and then you can contract out like other portion. They said the main body's in Kyoto. So is there any instance in which someone who has a contract with her has access to the full Fox Devil? Is there a reason if that's like if too much of a conjuring trick in order to summon her?
I mean, depending on what they offer, it's always a potential devil's love to take. And devils tend to come out on top in the contracts more often than the humans. So
it's always really interesting, especially the fact that we already know that there's a conflict between devils and humans. They don't like them. They don't like humans necessarily. However, they seem very interested and they want to go with these contracts. So I just wonder how. Also, another thing when it comes to the origins, like the contracts, like how did that become a thing as well? And that's something that's really interesting.
So I did want to talk about contracts as well, because the one thing that I've been questioning ever since it was stated that whoever breaks the contract dies, whether it's devil or human, who is enforcing that?
Exactly.
What magic dust allows an entity? Let's not bring up angels yet, but what entity can kill someone who breaks a contract?
I mean, easy answer, since they're devils, it's just going to be Lucifer, Satan himself, right? That's the easy answer. But I don't know.
Earth.
There is a since we are talking about the contracts right now, there is a small extra in Volume 5 Now the anime got halfway through volume 5. Do you want me to talk about the extra? So it's not like it doesn't have any impact on the story. Yeah. So the reason why Aki has a top knot is whenever it grows to a certain length, he cuts it off and feeds it to the fox as part of his contract.
Oh, I was thinking about that for hair.
Yeah.
Because that's technically part of human.
Yep.
Huh.
I kept thinking like he didn't lose, or like I don't remember anything else that he like lost or gave away.
Right,
That
but
makes sense.
for the snake to be summoned, like she was losing fingernails, so yeah, he feeds her his top knot, which is kind of hysterical.
Oh yeah, also the what was that called? Was it the curse devil? The sword that he has?
Yes.
Cursed Devil might be my favorite design from season 1. It's just like, and we only see it for like twice, briefly, but it is just so clean and creepy.
But okay, so going back to this whole contractual situation between devils and humans, so it seems like devils, they exist, at least some of them do, they exist on a different plane. So this was showcased via the fox devil and the snake devil, both disappearing after their conjurers or their casters told them to go away.
Right.
So why does it seem like they require human flesh in some capacities, actual flesh in other capacities, maybe like lifespan or their hair, their eyeballs? Why do they need that? Because I know when I brought this up previously, I want to say it was a commenter that had said the reason why they do that is because they enjoy inflicting pain on humans, which I can understand. But with that point about his top knot, it doesn't seem like that's hurting Aki to give that to the Fox Devil. Is that just because she's amicable with humans, or?
Right. Yeah. So the Fox Spirit does have good relations with the humans, for whatever reason. So yeah, she's more willing to be to to be lenient on the contracts, and she's more willing to be like, I'm still going to help you out, but you can only use my hand, or I'm still going to help you out, you can only use this part of my body though, like. But and then that can be contrasted with the Future Devil, who made that one employee like deaf and blind and all this stuff, but they got the contract, and it's like, what's the point at that? Like,
you can see the future, but you can't see anything else.
That would honestly be horrifying. Like, that would be exhausting. Like, what if they couldn't turn it off?
Oh man.
Well, I would almost assume that you don't have a choice at that point. Like, you're living your life in the future at that point.
Yeah.
And they probably just have him like being drip fed by IVs in a room, just recording everything he says.
Oh my!
It's the government, and we can't imagine they're the best guys.
I mean, look what they did to those prisoners at the temple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the contract thing is interesting because, like, even when we discuss about what's the origins of the devils and whatnot, my prediction so far, as of now, is that, like you said, the easy answer, like Lucifer or Satan, whatever. And I think that maybe way back in ancient times, the first contract was made between him and somebody. You can even tie in some kind of Adam and Eve type of lore into that. Yeah.
I think it would be to build off of that. I think it would be really interesting if Lucifer made a contract with God. And that contractual agreement, essentially a treatment of non-aggression. I'm not going to do wrong by you, so don't do wrong by me. And if either of us break this contract, then the other one will die.
Right. And also, too, this is something that I brought up way back in, what was it, like episode 2, and we both been talking about it for a while. There was a painting in Makima's office that had like a very
Oh yeah.
biblical type of vibe to it. It was like what was it? It was like
It was a demon flying down and attacking a
Yeah,
human
so-
over a lake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a real painting. It's Gustave
Oh.
Doré's illustration for Milton's Paradise Lost.
Did not know that either.
Yeah, and
Let me see this.
see, Paradise Lost is an epic poem, like detailing just the fall of mankind. Like it goes through like Adam and Eve being banished, all of that. Let me see here. Yeah, so it is there for a reason.
Yes, it definitely is, because I could have sworn I haven't seen that episode in a while, but I remember it seemed like it had emphasis on it, because even when they walked past it, I think it still showed on the screen. And then, I mean, seeing that this series is about devils and such, I'm like, okay, this has some kind of significance. I don't know if it's just a metaphor or it's actually foreshadowing or something, but it's definitely something, you know?
You know what's funny? I was rewatching episode 9 when Makima got shot in the head.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They shifted perspectives to show the camera from the seat behind her. They were showing the guys that the team that shot her, and there was a woman praying on the train. And then all of a sudden, Makima is back up and running.
She's built different. What can I
I
say?
have to look at that. She's built different, and she's obviously somebody that, like, already. I mean, even going like into the series, I've heard her name a lot, just from people like from the series, like her, Denji, main characters type stuff. And so far in season 1, especially when we got to like around that episode, like episode 9, and then after that, like, I don't know what's her deal, but I just know that she's bad news. Her demeanor is so calm, yet she's very intense in how other people react to her. Like Power, she seems terrified of her a few times in the series so far. And
Yeah.
like, and you know Power's personality, like she's always on
She don't
10.
care.
So for somebody to like put her in that place, like, yes, she's like the boss of, and whatnot, but there's more to that. And
Oh yeah.
Well, now she's
I
the
just can't
boss
wait to
of like the
discover that.
entire devil hunting
Yeah,
special division.
and
Right. And
that's crazy.
speaking of how people reacted to her, Kishibe had quite a different reaction to her.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
I
even
love
the guy
that.
that left. Like,
Oh, him too. Yeah.
like the way he looked at her, like, like what are you trying to do here? Like, you taking over? What's going on there?
So, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. Again, we have not done introductions yet, so a little bit late, but whatever. I am Mr. Twitchy, the night portion of Mugen Eclipse.
I'm Vontae the First, the day portion of Mugen Eclipse, and this is our guest Sherm, one of our good friends we talk to about a lot of series all the time.
He is a
And
library
he is
of
a manga
knowledge.
reader. Yes.
You've probably seen me a lot in the comments.
So the reason why I did our introduction now is one of the points that I made in one of our discussion videos was, what was the topic we were just talking about? I already blanked.
Makima and the
yeah, Makima and Kishibe and people reacting to her in different ways.
Yeah.
So she mentioned that she was intimidated by the Tokyo bigwigs, but the guy that resigned from the Devil Hunting Public Safety Commission, he asked her if she was aware of any of this happening beforehand. And I speculated that this is actually a reoccurring cycle that she does to cull the members of the Devil Hunting Society.
Huh.
Because if we remember when Himeno was drunk and talking about Makima, she kept referring to her as a bitch. Now,
right.
is that because of Aki's affinity to Makima, or is it because she is one of the seniors that has watched her partner die again and again and again to these devil hunting societies?
I think it's both. Because based on how hard Himeno was trying to leave and trying to get Aki to leave, it's possible without Aki, she would have walked away like Glasses did.
Right.
But because she wanted to save Aki too, she
stayed.
She got trapped. And I think she knew that Makima was the one feeding Aki and promising revenge on the Gun Devil. Because if you remember the episode that Makima asked Denji to kill the Gun Devil for her, she commented that's when Denji said he was going to be the one to kill it, Himeno had said that's a bold thing to say in front of Aki. So
right,
he's probably not the first person she made that deal with.
I didn't think about that. Huh. She also had a really kind of it almost seemed like a throwaway line, but I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think about this. I noticed it. She said when she exited the train that she was not shot. We saw that she was shot. So does she have some sort of invulnerability to the Gun Devil? Like only guns can't kill her?
Imagine that.
That would be interesting. That's a good way to look at it. Like because we know she's definitely opposing him, so she found a way to
nullify.
Right, to nullify his power. That could be something, especially if she can pass that to whoever she thinks has the power to actually take him down.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there. I was going to say like she cannot be hurt by the Gun Devil,
right?
But that means she cannot hurt the Gun Devil.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so that sounds like a contract.
So they had a contract with each other.
Yeah,
and then just people who make contracts with the Gun Devil just aren't privy to that information. They're like, Makima's in the way. Huh.
Was anyone that had a contract with the Gun Devil killed by a gun? The only one I remember is the old man that tried to take out Kobani and Arai.
Right, and Kobani gunned them down. But we don't necessarily.
Maybe he was just crazy and had a gun.
right, and Kobani shot and fled to chase down Chainsaw Man. We don't know if he got up like Makima did afterwards. That's interesting.
But you know what? The fact that you even brought up like her, like basically bullets can't really affect her. Like if that is a thing, it would be interesting if somebody's like the Gun Devil, for example, with like his little cult or following behind him. If some people has a contract with him and some people don't. And that could kind of it would be a counter to, like when it comes to trying to like investigate the Gun Devil, see where he's at, see what's going on with him. It could probably trick them.
Yeah, because it could have been one person who made the contract, got all the guns, and just passed them out. And then if you just catch a guy who got handed a gun, they have no information for you. They cannot help you.
What if it's a hive mind scenario?
Go on.
So Makima knew the names of the henchmen of the Katana Devil, and I always thought that was the weirdest thing. How would you know the names of random henchmen that are across the country?
So that was explained in an episode.
It was?
After she gave the bag of eyeballs to the mafia leader, he gave her the information.
No. I'm talking about before, like when the extermination was being carried out.
Oh. Yeah.
When she was using those prisoners as like proxies in order to enact her power, she said, say their name.
You're right.
And then they said the name, and then she was able to, I don't know, squish them with a god hand or something.
Yeah, I think the general consensus is potentially she could have interrogated someone on the train before they like had died to get them to spill the names.
That's possible,
but nothing was shown. So yeah, there is no proof on how she got the names.
And what the hell is she even doing? It's just squishing. Like, what is
she doing? She's got like crow conjuring. Like
I keep thinking about it. We talked about it like maybe like a week ago or so when we were just one of our recording sessions afterwards. We were talking about it like, what the hell is she doing? Because I'm thinking it's like she's squishing, doing this with her hand. I'm like, what is that?
She seemed like she has like a sixth sense or like a clairvoyant power to where what's the thing in Game of Thrones? Sherm, you've seen Game of Thrones, right?
No, I actually haven't.
Oh, really? Okay, so I guess I have to dust off my Game of Thrones knowledge. There is a character that can see through the eyes of crows, and only crows specifically. And Makima can, I'm almost positive she can see through the vision of crows, because there's been crows everywhere.
What if her, like, whoever the contract she has a devil with, what if it's like some kind of simulation or matrix type of devil? Because I'm thinking about the whole squishing thing, the whole like seeing thing. Like, it seems like somebody that is shit like in creative mode in a video game. Because like the way that she's able to see them or through the crows or whatever, and also squish them and do stuff like that, smash them. It's like, what is that? Like, is her devil
it's the
some
cheat
kind
code
of
devil?
Yeah, like what is like a matrix simulation? Like I don't know. Like,
well, I think we also speculated that it could be the blending of more than one devil contract just being used simultaneously. So if she has like, I don't know, the pressure devil contract and she has the clairvoyant devil contract, she could see through the eyes of the crows and then press down on them like a grape.
Yeah, something about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
she got a lot in her bag though.
Yeah,
she's her.
Because like the fact that you can't die from the bullet, obviously we seen you get shot in the head. You came out of the train like, oh, I'm good, and then you doing shit like that. Like, what are you?
Oh yeah, she has a lot in her bag, and if you look at the fan arts, she has a lot in her trunk.
I mean, I feel like she's stacked, but apparently that's not canonical.
No, it's just
it's angles.
Listen, people took it and ran. Like,
yeah.
all it takes is one good angle, and it's over. The internet has her.
Right.
Happy Mother's
Day. What else is something you want to talk about? Mommy?
I don't know. What we got a couple of different things. You guys want to talk about maybe Keisha Bay, or I guess we can talk about Aki.
Keisha Bay.
Keisha Bay is that guy, man.
He really is. You know, every series has that one character that's like the mentor role, or like the older guy or the older gal that's like, yeah, they're them. Like he's it's interesting because he was a drunk, right? Like, you would drink a lot, and
right.
I guess to numb pain, that's what it seems like. Because I mean, look at
he's seen so many people come and go.
The pain devil.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, does he have a contract with the devil, or is he just inherently nasty?
I'm trying. I'm trying to see if what was confirmed in the anime.
I don't
Did
think it said either way, if I
yeah.
remember correctly.
But after seeing everything he did, do you think he has a contract?
I think so. Because the way that he was, I mean, I know he's skilled, but I don't know, some of the things that he was doing against Power and Denji, I'm like, what the hell? Like when he had dodged the blood spear that
Oh yeah,
Power
yeah,
threw.
yeah.
Like the way I'm like, there's something. He got something. Like I just don't know what that could
His
be.
level of strength to crack 2 necks simultaneously, one in each arm. How are you
Right.
that strong? Do you know the amount of pressure that you need to put on a neck for it to snap? And for you to have like arm day, and that works on both your left and your right arm.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got something.
it's wild.
That man ain't normal. He got something.
No, I don't think the anime had confirmed. But I love how Kishibe how he taught them to like never trust a hunter, and how he
Right.
appreciated their honesty of I'm gonna be on the winning side and whichever side feeds me, like because
Yeah.
he didn't want to hear what like any other person and like working for the government would have wanted to hear. He didn't need to hear they're on his side. He
I also
wanted them to
like
be honest.
how it Denji was able to apply his mentality for the climactic fight of this season. If it weren't
Yeah.
for those teachings, he would have lost versus the Katana Man.
No,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. And the anime actually kind of spoiled the leg saws, because in the last training session that we see, Denji is bare feet and his pants are shredded.
Oh, I missed that.
But if you're like, oh man, training must have been tough on that day, but no, that was like it's nice looking back and just seeing how purposeful some things are.
Right.
Hmm.
Hmm. Kishibe, shout out to the VA too. You know he's golded. He's golded.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my guys right there.
He's got such a raspy voice.
It's so
Yep.
good.
And you said you had mentioned Aki too when you were just spitballing
Yep.
some characters to talk about. Aki, I started to like him like a lot, a lot more towards the end of the season because his relationship with Himino, I mean, it's just great. And now I'm just really interested to see what his journey is like because I mean, it seems like he's gonna die.
2 years.
So he's just working his way up to his death, and like I feel like the fact that we have that already is like, yeah, you just all you want to do is just see what he does until then, and that's enough, you know. So
Yeah. Curse
and I
Devil
don't know if
took
there's
a
any
lot.
workaround to it. Yeah. um.
Well, they
Yeah.
did mention if a devil dies, their powers cease to exist. So, theoretically, if he were to kill the cursed devil, would that get him back the rest of his life?
I don't think so, because I don't think that would renege previous contracts.
Well, here's the thing, though. Is it a previous contract or is it a current contract that only expires at a certain timed point?
So, from what I understand, each time he uses it, like his lifespan is decreased. So he already paid to only have 2 years remaining. So I don't think he could take that back, but he could potentially continue to use the nail the nail sword without losing more of his life, if that makes sense.
Plus, that would low-key be cheating too. If like you already use them and then they die, and then like you just get like stuff back. Then I feel like the contracts really are very one-sided depending on the circumstances.
Well, that assumes
Well, I
that
guess
you
that would
A,
be
have the
avoided.
balls, and B, have the ability to kill the devil that you made a contract with.
Right.
Like, I don't think everyone's built like that to make a contract with the devil and then reap the rewards and then kill the devil that they made a contract with. Like, that's pretty
Well,
greedy.
Because the thing is, as soon as you probably start going after the devil who gave you on their powers, that probably means they can renege on the contract. Because if you're trying to kill them, like, they can just take their power away, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But if they have a contract with a different devil, then
Well, and here's an idea. What happens when there are conflicting contracts between multiple devils and the same person? So, say for example, one, I know it wasn't used in this manner, but the Eternity Devil, I would argue, is somewhat similar to the Immortality Devil. I've talked about this in my own videos and on here a couple times as well. I view immortality as nothing but a curse, no pun intended. So if a devil's contract were to give you endless life versus a devil's contract that takes away your lifespan, could you technically break even?
yeah, I could see you potentially breaking even, but at that point, once you I would imagine once you make a contract with, if you had a contract with the cursed devil first and then went to like the immortal devil, they would probably the cursed devil would probably make you rewrite your contract to where it's not getting something for nothing. Potentially they would like take the lifespan of someone close to you who doesn't have immortality or something, because no devil wants to give something for free unless they're amicable, and the fox being amicable with humans is the exception to the rule. Like it looks like the Aki isn't paying the future devil, but the future devil thinks his
end
is so interesting that he wants to see it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
at that point, I would be like, no, like, I'm gonna do everything I can to make that not happen.
Look, I would argue if you're gonna die anyway, you might as well have the future devil's abilities. Like, if it can't be changed, if it's determined at this point with the contract. So that's why I was thinking about different ways for Aki to, I'm not going to say get out of the contract, but just make it null and void, to where it's not going to matter whatever the cursed devil does, because he's going to have more lifespan that's given to him. Let's just say someone else makes a contract. In this scenario, Himeno decided to give up her life to try to save Aki's life. If Aki, I don't know, found a girlfriend and she wanted to give up her life so that he could live longer, I could see that happening.
Yeah. Like, but it wouldn't be able to be Aki's doing, if that makes sense. Since he made the contract to lose part of his life, if he gets more life, it would have to be from someone else, not necessarily him just contracting with a different devil. I think in order to make it fair and to make it seem like he's not trying to cheat and renege on what he already paid. If someone else is paying something different, that's different.
Different story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the future devil is just bullshitting it. He's really going to die from like a truck or something. By truck gun.
Dude, if Aki gets isekai, let's go.
Him and Himeno have a fantasy isekai journey. I would love to see that shoot off.
That would be a hysterical spinoff. What the hell?
Or what if, I remember I think we did talk about this before too, with Himeno, kind of not really in terms of like predicting it, but just, just a thought. Like, what if in this series, when people die, that's how devils are like born, essentially.
Expand on that.
So, I mean, I would think that there's more. Well, I can't really say that. I was gonna say that I think there'll be more people um, than like Devils itself. I think maybe I don't know, like 7 or 8 billion people versus how many fears you can even think of. But it'll be interesting if that is the case because we don't know the origins of Devils,
right?
Already, and it'll be interesting if. And the reason why I thought about that right now is because I won't spoil or go into anything about Hell's Paradise, but the recent episode we learned something, and you guys probably know what I mean.
Yeah. So
I was just thinking along the lines of that.
Just make sure I'm understanding. Like, are you imagining that if there is not a devil for a specific fear, if someone with that specific fear dies, they then are kind of reborn as that fear devil? Or could anyone be reborn as any fear?
I don't think it necessarily has to be that person that dies that had the fear. It could be someone in proximity. So going back to my earlier point with Pachita, is Pachita showed up, albeit wounded, so that somewhat puts a crux in this theory. Pachita showed up next to Denji after Denji was told that he would be cut up for not paying his late father's death. So his father died, was likely buried, I don't know by who, at that location, and then Pachita just happens to show up after that comment from the Yakuza.
Real fast, you know what would be really dirty? If the Yakuza paid for the funeral and just added it to his debt.
I can see that. They got manager's fees, administrator fees. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. If he was connected to them at all, it's their
that's the HR fee.
It's their prerogative. I just because when you mentioned who buried him, I was like, yeah, Denji had no money. Who would have done it? Except people who want to exploit. Dang. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's funny. I just randomly was like, who buried Denji's dad? Well, technically Denji did, but not really.
It is interesting though. It isn't like with contracts because so far we're just thinking along the lines of humans between devils. I wonder if devils can have contracts with other devils.
I would think yes, if I had a guess.
Okay, because that would make things even more interesting. Because even going back to the whole Makima situation with the gun devil, like if obviously, well, they seem like they're each other's opposition right now, but the way that she's been moving is just so weird and setting up stuff. She ends up becoming the head of the organization or the agency and whatnot. And then it's like, it'll be interesting if devils, like her devil or whatever, made a contract with the gun devil.
Right.
And that's
now,
why she didn't,
maybe that's how she has immunity.
Keep in mind that devils are different from like fiends and things, because it said in one of the Eternity Devil episodes that if Power tried to give it Denji for her freedom, it could do whatever it wanted because fiends can't have contracts. So, but devils may be able to. That would be that would be just another distinction, and also make you wonder why there are fiends rather than devils.
Well, not just that, but what's the reason why fiends can't have contracts with devils? Because they are literally inhabiting a human corpse. But then you get back to the question of how are devils healed from human blood? So like human vitality is their power source. So is it because fiends are technically human corpses that they don't have any vitality left to give?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Like, because if you're a corpse,
potentially, yeah, but
you're just like a vessel, like a case, in a way. So it's just really the devil in the body.
Yeah, but if that's the reason that we're going with, then a devil wouldn't gain anything by making a contract with another devil, because they wouldn't have life source to provide. Because if a fiend's life source is the devil's life source, and that's not good enough as a fiend, it shouldn't be good enough as a devil.
Oh yeah. You're right. Or maybe it's not or maybe not that kind of contract, but just a partnership.
Right. Yeah.
We've seen that what was it?
I
The
mean, they
leak
absolutely,
and the bat
yeah, they
was like
absolutely,
lovers or something.
yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Each devil absolutely like has its own ambitions, wants, desires, and they can work with or screw over whoever they want.
Right. I really want to know their relationship as a whole. I mean, because maybe it's similar to like humans. I mean, we all have friends or people who or acquaintances or enemies or whatever the case may be. So maybe they work the same way. So really, it's not that much of a huge thing to think about because it could just be simply like that, like us as humans.
Mm-hmm. Just remember that you have no enemies, Vontae.
You're right. Word to yours. But yeah. What about a human devil?
Huh.
Because I mean, humans. I mean, shoot.
You're kind of
Honestly,
spitting.
a human is probably one of the most fearful things because, like, humans, they shoot guns. They do different things to hurt other people mentally, physically. So it's like
Yeah, like if you're afraid
maybe.
of the tool, what about the hands that hold the tool?
Because it's like, yeah, I mean, and then like think of, for example, like nuclear warfare, right? Um, like when you press they press the button to release a bomb or whatever. Like it's a human behind that. So a lot of stuff that can happen or has happened in history on Earth is from the humans' decision to to do those things. See Twitchy,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Give me just a second here. Yeah, Martha, I'm trying to look up the answer to your question here. I know that the Blu-ray sales were really underwhelming. Like in the first week, it sold 1,735 Blu-rays in Japan, whereas Bochi the Rock sold more than 23,000, and like Spy Family had almost had like 21,000. Like, so comparatively, yeah, the Blu-ray sales were not good for Chainsaw Man, but the manga is still doing really well as far as I know. It's still Fujimoto is still doing his thing.
What's this up?
Sorry, I think I'm having somewhat of internet issues. Can you guys hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we hear you.
Yep. Oh, he's gone. He was back, but then left. Oh no.
We just briefly talked about like the human devil, like how basically just like in real life, how humans are behind a lot of things that can hurt people mentally, physically. So if the world, if like say, well, in Chainsaw Man, people would
Yeah.
be afraid of people, like
No.
mankind.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. And we're definitely spitting there. Yeah, and Martha, I definitely think it was undeserved. I really thought that Mappa hit Chainsaw Man out the park, especially with all the endings that they did. Like,
oh yeah,
I would not mind purchasing on the Blu-ray over here. I don't think it's gonna hurt the anime at all because the manga sells, I think, play more into that than the anime sells. But yeah, it's just it's wild. And it could also be that I know that Bochi the Rock um, is like a 4-panel comic strip rather than like normal manga like Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen or One Piece or whatever. And with Bochi the Rock also being musical in nature, the Blu-ray would be kind of, the anime is like the best way to experience that. So I think that's why Bocchi the Rock was so much more ahead, just because that's the best way to see it. But yeah, it's wild how low the Blu-ray sales were.
Well, not only that, but with Japan, it just seems like that audience has different priorities or like likes and dislikes than the Western audience does. Because I remember, just to kind of relate this back to My Hero Academia for a moment, the Western audience absolutely loved My Villain Academia, but the manga sales like shot down significantly in the Japanese market, and they were like, okay, I'll got to wrap this up.
Yeah. Darker stuff can be hit or miss with Japan, it seems. I would think that like Berserk, Pun, those are like the exceptions to the rule, but they prefer like more lighthearted things.
Well, isn't Hell's Paradise more like niche over there?
Hell's Paradise was more niche.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know JJK is doing well. At just talking about like the dark trio here for a second, but
the dark
I don't know what do you want to call them. That's just what I've heard. So
there's a 3 dark key.
The dark triad. Oh, please don't come after me, copyright demons. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, I was about to say that's your demon right there.
My biggest fear is the copyright demon.
Okay, well, copyright demon versus spoiler demon.
The spoiler demon just I was with that from birth.
Man,
that's my heart. Pachita has Denji. The spoiler demon has me.
Also, I want to see more people who are like Denji and Pochita, like, because they're like,
Katana Man.
Yeah, and him. Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
and honestly, get into how he's like that because we didn't get no like origins from him, right?
The line that I remember is Makima saying, "There's not a lot of historical precedence for your situation." So I think she knows who or what Denji is, but I don't think it's common whatsoever.
Yeah, hang on and I'll see if the anime said something, because I think that the anime did say something. Just hang on a second here. Bear with me while I look this up. I just don't want to say wrong information.
Also hope that he remains relevant in the series too. That's Katana Man. Katana, Japan. Come on, man. He has to stay relevant, hopefully.
Well, we know how Denji essentially is accessing the Chainsaw Man powers is via Pachita, because he didn't have those powers beforehand. He didn't make a contract with any other devil. So why does the Gun Devil specifically want Pachita as opposed to, let's just say, the Katana Man is working for the Gun Devil or working for a conglomerate that works for the Gun Devil? Why is the Gun Devil, or excuse me, the Katana Man, why is he not what the Gun Devil wants?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, what makes Pachita special?
More up to date than the.
Well, Vante was kind of touching on it earlier. Like, there's the Chainsaw Massacre, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all the movies. If you're going to have a scary weapon prop in a horror movie, chainsaw is going to be the go-to rather than just a sword. So kind of due to that, people, I guess, just subconsciously are more scared of chainsaws, if that makes sense. So potentially,
which is crazy because that introduced a concept of like devils getting weaker over time. They could have been like, if we're talking about like hierarchy here, like the Katana Devil could have been like the highest ranked devil for thousands of years, and then all of a sudden a chainsaw comes along. It's like, oh well, this is scarier. The Gun Devil, yeah, I can actually kill 1.2 million people in 5 minutes. It'll take you
like
20 years to do that amount. Like,
it's like a product or like a musician or anything like in our world when it comes to stuff that like starts to trend or starts to hit, business is booming and then it just starts becoming unpopular. Damn.
Yeah,
Go on tour.
so there was one line by the Katana Man, and he just mentions that his physical heart got replaced with a Katana Devil. So we don't know why, we don't know
okay.
how, but that happened.
Interesting.
Now I'm thinking about hearts. What about a heart attack devil?
Yeah.
Flatline.
Ooh, a Flatline Devil.
That's actually a raw nickname.
Yeah, it actually is, and that could like be that's a much broader scope.
What about a sound devil? Because like sounds, people get startled by many sounds. I wonder how that would be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. There are certain sounds like a what is it, tryptophobia or something I don't know. There's something going on with sounds recently, I think, that could make sense for a good devil. Not a good devil, but you know.
So one other point I brought up was manufacturing fear to increase the power level of any said devil.
Right,
So,
like
for
a gun.
example, a gun devil. Theoretically, you could do it with really any devil. In Denji's case, if they just gave a chainsaw to a mass murderer and just let him run around Japan.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Makima had mentioned after that initial gun devil attack, the media had to essentially try and do a blackout to stop the fear from increasing, because she also said that the fear of the gun devil alone grew so high it was affecting almost every devil. Yeah. So if you're able to weaken a devil with media blackout, you can do the same thing by putting them in the spotlight and manufacturing it.
Something that I would really like, that would be a dope, very antagonistic type of character, but somebody that can match whatever devil that they have, and then the person itself is crazy as hell. So really, they're doing a lot of the work to make people fear them and their devil that they have a contract with. Like, I'm trying to think of something like, say like the gun devil, for example. Like, say the main or like one of the main persons that it has a contract with, if they're just going out shooting and just creating so much havoc alone on their own to the point where the people fear the human, and on top of that they're going to fear the devil, and it's feeding into that as well. I think that would be a cool combo between the devil and the human, and for the story itself.
Yeah, like if the gun devil was feared so much due to the fear of guns, would the fear of the gun devil make a gun devil devil?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So
I was with you 90% of the way, and then you lost me.
So there's the gun devil, who was created by people's fear of guns.
Mm-hmm.
If people start fearing the gun devil himself, not guns,
that's hilarious.
Because of what he caused, there could be a gun devil. Like,
how many levels are we getting in? This is like the Matrix. My God, you are fearful of fear itself.
Oh no! Yeah, it's over. Like, goodbye.
Okay, so I know we're about a little over an hour. There is one more point or topic of discussion that I wanted to discuss. But first, is there anything you wanted to bring up, Vontae?
I think characters. Oh, the fiends that we got introduced to in the last 2 episodes or so.
Shark.
We got
Yeah.
my shark boy, the shark
Violence.
guy, violence,
Powers
the
doing her
angel
thing.
devil,
Mm-hmm.
and then the
Yeah,
spider
spider
devil.
devil.
Like not a fiend, right? Apparently, it's not a fiend, right?
Right.
No, I think that's the actual devil.
Which is that was crazy.
Yeah. The fiends are more rare than the devils.
So with those, very interested, obviously, to see what this new squad is going to be like. The spider one, I remember we talked about it briefly before. Like, what's the deal with the spider devil? Like, why is it like a part of the crew? Really? Like, it's just.
Well, that might relate
I don't
back
know.
to the future devil and other devils being held in captivity. Maybe she agreed to have her quote unquote freedom if she were to agree to go on certain extermination missions.
Yeah, could be something like that.
And then
Because a devil really wouldn't help unless it's for its own benefit. Like,
right. And then I remember the theory I think that you came up with about the violence devil.
Yep.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
I think it was somewhat implied by Sherm, but that's fine. I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.
Is in one of my favorite endings, which we have not talked about today. We'll save that for another stream. But number 11, which is Violence by Queen Bee, it has all of our team of Special Division for Devil Hunters, and it shows the Violence Fiend for some reason. So Sherm pointed it out, and I thought about it. I think that might be a Rye underneath the plague mask.
That'll be wild.
I would love it.
Because it showed all the quote unquote OG people that we already met before the last few episodes. And yeah, that wouldn't, not to say that, I mean, it could just simply be that he's like the main focus of the new, like out of the new characters that we met.
It could
but
be
also it is kind of weird because it's like why show him when literally at Riot he was, part of the OG team. And then you show the Violence Fiend when there's the Shark Fiend, the Angel Devil, and the Spider Demon or Devil. And speaking of the Angel Devil, what the hell is like? What?
So in real fast, just on the Arai thing, Arai is in the movie theater scene of the OP along with the main crew, Beam, Spider, even Kishibe, and the Angel
walks
Demon,
away,
and the
right?
Violence Fiend
or
is not there.
Kobani walks away.
Yeah. Kobani walks away and comes back, but the Violence Demon or the Violence Fiend is not in the movie theater.
Okay.
But Arai is, and then in the ending, it's switched. So
that's interesting. That's very interesting. And then he has a mask too, so it's like, like it's one of those kind of things. Whoa,
why does a Violence Fiend need that gas mask? I know they said, are they suppressing it with poison gas? Do I remember that correctly? That is wild.
Yeah, they are suppressing him before he.
That is wild. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the Angel Devil? Like, because that's something else. I'm like, okay, interesting. Angel Devil.
if again, I have not had a chance to watch episodes 11 or 12 since I first watched it 4 or 5 months ago. But do I remember correctly? If someone touches her body, they lose their lifespan.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? She siphons it away. Well, think about it. Angels take you to heaven.
More quickly than others, I guess. I just wanted a hug. Damn, now I'm 5 years older.
Yeah, it's wild.
It would have been GG for
Arai, do not, or Aki, do not touch her. Don't even graze her for a half second.
I just wonder what's the deal with that though. Like the Angel Devil, like that's just.
I mean, for me, it logically makes sense to exist. Now, obviously, it's not going to be like the most powerful because it's kind of a weird, probably niche fear. but I know that some people who were like raised in religious households end up being afraid of heaven. The thought of eternity, just sitting, doing, and worshiping like forever, day after day, for the rest of eternity, like that, and not knowing what it is, like that can be scary to people. Like, so
no. I just, on top of that, I also just feel like that character has like brings a lot of like, there's more significance to that character. Because even when they had finished the mission, they just showed her just standing outside looking at the sunset or something like that. So I feel like there's been a few little instances of emphasis when we first seen them a few times, and I don't know, like going back to like how we were talking about like some kind of biblical references and stuff. I think there's probably more with the angel devil as well, but also what you just said about like, you know, that's also could be a fear that people, you know, literally have of like heaven and angels and stuff like that. I think all of that all together is could be plausible.
And like biblically accurate angels, they are terrifying monster creatures.
No, yeah. Like humans aren't supposed to like look upon them, but this is probably going to be weird. But since there is an angel devil, do you think there is a god devil? Because if people are scared of angels, like
I feel like if there's crossover in one way, there's got to be crossover in another. And I know that Vontae and I had talked about this, but what do contracts look like between angels and humans? Because if we theorize that there are angels in coordination with devils, and devils have contracts, like I feel like it is almost a guarantee that angels have to have contracts with humans. Is that Makima's power? Is that entirely separate? If you have a contract with the devil, can you also have a contract with an angel, or do you explode like dark matter?
I mean, and the thing is, if there's an angel devil, angels have to exist.
Well, not necessarily, because a lot of these devils are metaphysical concepts. Like, you can't tell me eternity does exist, but it's like you can't ever interact with it.
Right. And we can't understand it, and the not understanding, the not being able to fathom it, like that's kind of helps in the creation of it.
Okay.
Like if something doesn't exist, people can't be afraid of it. You know, but even if it exists as only a concept, that's enough.
We're getting way too metaphysical here.
because what is something that people would fear that don't exist? Like what, a unicorn? I mean, I know people don't fear a unicorn. I mean, I can't say that. Maybe there's somebody in the world that
Big Voldemort does, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, you know, I don't know. But there was a last topic you wanted to go into, you said?
Yeah, so really quickly, I wanted to bring up somewhat of an elephant in the room. Where is, and does it exist? I guess I should preface that, the Death Devil.
Hell, I don't know.
I mean,
no, I mean, like, yes, probably, but with all these devils coming into our world, like, I never want to meet the Death Devil.
Oh hell!
He's like a super cool guy, like dad jeans, 40, just chilling, mustache and a beard.
The Death Devil. I feel like the Death Devil itself, when you really think about it. Oh well, okay, never mind. I was thinking about it wouldn't need a contract. That's one thing. It gets death. It always gets death. It's always going to get what it wants, for the most part. That's why I think of it. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, death is one of those. Is probably. I would almost feel confident saying it's the number one fear of humans.
Yeah.
Like, so that's got to be
and how would you incorporate it?
Yeah, it's got to be like brought up at some point.
Well, death in this series is kind of weird because let's just say for Jimeno, for example, she just kind of like poofed and she's gone. So like she didn't technically exist. We know that she existed, but where'd she go?
I mean, she gave her everything to the Ghost Devil. Take that for what you will. She
Yeah, she
gave
wants
her
to know.
everything to the Ghost Devil.
Because you just die if it was just as normal. It's like, oh, okay, well, contract ended, you die, your body can be there, but you're dead. But she literally poof.
Yeah, because in order to have the arm, she lost her eye. So like, for whatever reason, the Ghost Devil wants physical body parts.
Well, and then they were saying like devils can die, and we've obviously seen Denji himself kill a few devils. But I don't know, maybe it's just other forms of media. I've always thought of like devils as being quote unquote immortal. So the fact that they can die, they do die, and then are fearful of other devils, in addition to wanting to exterminate humans. There is so much in this series as it relates to death that I feel like Death Devil will not be brought up until almost the end of part 1.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, at some point it absolutely has to be gotten into, and y'all are definitely like asking the right questions.
Death Devil. And I honestly I don't really see the Death Devil as like a antagonist. Like in
He's just
terms of
there.
like something we have to face. Yeah, it's just something that we will probably see when somebody dies or when people die,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of it. Kind of like how in series where people meet God or whatever by the end, and I don't know they like talk or something like that, and it's kind of I think that's how the Grim Reaper or the
Right.
Death Devil will be in this series.
Yeah, where
Maybe
someone's
they
talking
can
to
tell
them
some
and they
lore.
slowly come to the realization that they're
Yeah,
talking to death and they've died.
Is that what Zoro saw in
Yeah.
Wano?
I was just thinking about that.
Zoro saw Brook, and that's it. Like,
but yeah,
man, that was the Wano. How dare you?
I'm sorry. I needed to end it on a sour note, apparently.
But yeah, man. I mean, for season 1 of Chainsaw Man, I mean, if you guys watched our reactions, we really enjoyed it. We enjoyed the action. We enjoyed the comedy. Not so much vomit, but like the vomit was crazy. But
the unique endings for every episode. The OP was a
yeah.
banger. The lighting in particular was a highlight for me. The animation, I feel like it was better than most people give it credit for. And that's just not me. Apparently, I'm a Mappa simp now. But yeah, I honestly like
Look at you.
9 to 10 on a 10 out of 10 scale. I loved season 1, so
Big agree.
hopefully they give us season 2 before, I don't know, next couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I would hope it's
feel
announced
like it's
by
only
the end
up
of
from
the year.
Maybe we'll get something at the Mappa conference here in a week or 2.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah. I think next week from today, I believe.
Okay.
Or I think next Saturday, something like that.
Yeah,
but,
like
and also,
I don't even need a release date. Just confirm you're working on it. Like,
right.
Please.
And also the what was that post-credit scene where the person was talking in that alleyway, similar to like where Denji was walking in episode 1. I'm like, okay, so new character alert. She talking about Denji, talking about,
I know
what
who
she say?
she is.
Something about a rat.
A rat born in the countryside is not the same as a rat born in the city or something.
It was a country mouse versus a city mouse.
Right. So interested in that as well. I don't really have much predictions going into the next season. I mean, we already are like having our missions with dealing with the gun devil and stuff, but in terms of other devils or maybe even another faction of people that we have to go against, I have no idea on that regard other than gun devil stuff. Being reintroduced to our characters again and being reintroduced to the new team, and then we'll see what happens from there. But that's pretty much all I got though.
All right, I will end it with one prediction. I predict that in season 2, Denji will ingest at least one bullet of the Gun Devil.
Interesting.
Predictions? Yeah, I don't. What prediction do I have? We're going to recruit Katana Man. I mean, because what's her name? The Snake Girl. She going.
Oh, she gone.
Bye-bye.
And so was the snake, thankfully, because that thing was creepy as hell, made up of fingers.
Oh, yeah. Right. But, like we say at the end of every video, this is the first time we're saying it on stream. Hope you guys all have a good one. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay clean. See you guys on the next video that we drop. We're going to have Demon Slayer dropping maybe today. I might finish that up today or tomorrow. We'll see. And then Vinland as well this week. So, yeah. See you guys on the next video, and peace.
Peace.
Peace.